Saltwater Crocodile. The largest living reptile on Earth, 6 meters long. The strongest bite force ever recorded in a living species, over 16,000 newtons. Stronger than every land predator alive. But here's what most people miss. This isn't just a river animal. Saltwater crocs cross open ocean, hundreds of kilometers, riding currents between islands like a freight train that learned to float. They don't swim the whole way, they drift, strategically, reading tidal patterns the way you'd check Google Maps before a road trip. And the hunting is just as calculated. It sits motionless in murky water for hours, just the eyes and nostrils above the surface. A 1,200-pound animal you wouldn't see until it was too late. One lunge, jaws lock, death roll, dinner. This is the baseline. Every croc you're about to see evolved a different answer to survival. This one looked at the options and picked all of them. Nile Crocodile. Africa's apex ambush predator. 5 meters of patience that's been perfecting the same trick for millions of years. And the trick is embarrassingly simple. Don't move. Every year, wildebeest cross the Mara River, thousands of them, and every year, Nile crocs are already there, not hiding, just being part of the river, logs that bite. Wait for the water to fill with panicking animals. Pick the one that stumbles. One grab, drag under, hold until it stops moving. No chase, no effort, just timing. But here's what separates this croc. They coordinate. Multiple Nile crocs have been observed blocking escape routes, herding prey toward each other. That's not instinct on autopilot. That's teamwork from an animal with a brain the size of a walnut. 5 meters of cold-blooded cooperation. Let that sit for a second. Gharial. One look at this thing and your brain says broken. That snout is absurdly narrow, long, thin, lined with over 100 interlocking teeth. It looks like someone grabbed a crocodile's jaw and stretched it like taffy. But that shape isn't a defect, it's a fishing rod. The Gharial gave up brute force entirely. No wildebeest takedowns, no death rolls on zebras. This crocodilian went all in on fish and evolved the perfect tool for it. That narrow snout cuts through water with almost zero resistance. One sideways snap and it's over. The fish never sees it coming. Males grow a bulbous lump on the tip of their snout called a gara. It buzzes, literally vibrates underwater to attract females. A living subwoofer attached to a fishing rod. Critically endangered now, fewer than 1,000 left in the wild. An animal that survived 65 million years of evolution, nearly erased in the last 50 by habitat loss and fishing nets. Dwarf Crocodile. 1.5 meters. That's it. The smallest crocodilian alive, roughly the size of a large house cat with armor plating. And it doesn't live in rivers. It lives in forests. West African rainforests specifically. Walking through leaf litter, hiding in burrows, hunting frogs and insects under the canopy. A crocodile that behaves more like a lizard than anything you'd associate with the word croc. But small doesn't mean soft. That armor is proportionally thicker than almost any other crocodilian, built like a tiny tank, because when you're this small, everything is a threat. Birds, snakes, larger reptiles. The same rivers that other crocs dominate would swallow this one whole, so it adapted sideways, traded size for stealth, rivers for roots, open water for underground burrows where nothing can reach it. Cuban Crocodile. A crocodile that runs, not waddles, not drags itself forward, actually gallops, on land, at speed, chasing prey down like a dog. This is the most terrestrial crocodilian alive. Longer legs, less webbing between the toes, a body built more for dirt than water. Found only in Cuba's Zapata Swamp, one of the smallest ranges of any crocodilian on Earth. An apex predator trapped on an island, so it learned to hunt where others wouldn't bother. And it didn't just adapt to land, it got creative. Cuban crocs have been observed leaping jumping out of the water, vertically, to snatch hutias off low-hanging branches. A 2-meter reptile launching itself into the air like a surface-to-air missile with scales. The jaw structure is different too, broader, blunter, designed for crushing rather than gripping, built to crack turtle shells, not hold thrashing fish. Most crocodilians wait for prey to come to the water. This one said no thanks and went looking for it on solid ground. False Gharial. The name tells you everything. This animal spent decades being misidentified, filed under the wrong family, confused with the gharial because of a long, narrow snout that looks almost identical. But it's not a gharial, not even close. The false gharial is a true crocodilian that independently evolved a similar snout shape. Convergent evolution. Two completely different lineages arriving at the same design, like two engineers solving the same problem without ever talking to each other. And unlike the gharial, this one isn't just eating fish. False gharials take monkeys, deer, birds, anything that gets close enough to the riverbank. That narrow snout fooled scientists into thinking it was a specialist. It's a generalist wearing a specialist's face. Black Caiman, the Amazon's largest predator. Not largest reptile, largest predator, period. Over 5 meters of pure darkness built to own the most biodiverse river system on the planet. That black coloration isn't random, it's a nocturnal adaptation. When the sun drops and the Amazon goes dark, this animal becomes the river itself. No reflection, no outline, just teeth materializing from nowhere. And it hunts everything. Capybaras, deer, anacondas, even jaguars. The one animal most people assume sits at the top of the Amazon food chain. The relationship goes both ways. Jaguars hunt caimans, caimans hunt jaguars. Neither one has a clear advantage. That's not a predator-prey dynamic, that's a rivalry. The skull is massive, broader and heavier than most crocodilians its size, built for clamping down on large mammals and dragging them into water where no land predator can follow. Mugger Crocodile. This one lives alongside 1.4 billion people. India, Sri Lanka, Iran, urban rivers, temple ponds, irrigation canals, places where a 3-meter reptile has no business surviving. And yet, here it is. But coexistence isn't even the interesting part. Mugger crocs use tools. They've been observed balancing sticks on their snouts during nesting season, exactly when birds are looking for building material. A bird sees a stick, flies down to grab it, doesn't fly back up. A crocodile using bait, setting a trap. That's not reflex, that's not instinct running on autopilot. That's a predator that understood what its prey wanted and offered it. They also dig burrows up to 8 meters deep. Not for hunting, for surviving droughts.